You've probably heard this rule. A diamond ring should cost 3 months of your salary. It sounds like tradition, like something ancient passed down for centuries. It's not. It's an advertising slogan, and it worked so well, an entire industry still runs on it today. Here's the story nobody tells you. For almost all of human history, engagement had nothing to do with diamonds. People exchanged land, livestock, coins, family heirlooms, sometimes nothing at all. A spoken promise in front of witnesses was enough. Diamonds existed, sure, but almost nobody wanted them for love. They were rare stones reserved for royalty, nothing more than that. Then, in the 1870s, everything changed. Massive diamond deposits were discovered near Kimberley, South Africa. Suddenly, the ground was full of them. Too full. If diamonds flooded the market like any other stone, prices would collapse completely, and that terrified the handful of men who owned the mines. So in 1888, they did something clever. They merged every major mine into a single company. One company controlling almost the entire world's diamond supply. That company was called De Beers. And De Beers had a problem that money alone couldn't fix. Nobody actually needed a diamond. So they stopped trying to sell diamonds. They started selling an idea. In 1938, De Beers hired an advertising agency in New York called N.W. Ayer. Their job was simple to describe and enormous to pull off. Make an entire generation believe a diamond was the only acceptable symbol of love. Not gold, not rubies, not sapphires. A diamond specifically on purpose. In 1947, a copywriter at the agency named Frances Giretti sat down and wrote 4 words. A diamond is forever. She wasn't describing the stone. She was describing a business model. Here's why those 4 words were so brilliant. If a diamond is forever, you never resell it. If nobody resells diamonds, there's no secondhand market. No secondhand market means no price comparison. No price comparison means De Beers could set the price to almost anything they wanted, and nobody could prove them wrong. The slogan was never about romance. It was about controlling supply and demand permanently. Then came the part that actually changed behavior. De Beers didn't just advertise the diamond, they advertised a number. Their ads asked, how else can 2 months' salary last forever? Later, the number quietly grew to 3 months' salary. There was no data behind that figure, no survey, no research, no tradition. It was invented by copywriters specifically to make you spend more, and it worked so well that people still repeat it today as if it's an old custom. By the 1960s, over 80% of American brides received a diamond engagement ring. Before the De Beers campaign began, that number was under 10%. One ad agency changed a global custom in a single generation. Let that sink in. A marketing campaign didn't just sell a product, it rewrote what an entire culture believed true love was supposed to look like. And it didn't stop at advertising. De Beers built something called the Central Selling Organization. Its job was to control nearly 90% of the world's rough diamond supply. They stockpiled diamonds in vaults in London, and they released them slowly, carefully, only enough to keep prices climbing, never enough to let supply catch up with what people were told was rare. Here's the part that should really bother you. Diamonds were never actually rare. Carbon under pressure is one of the most common outcomes in geology. There are enough diamonds sitting in vaults today to flood the market for decades. De Beers didn't sell rare stones. They manufactured scarcity on purpose for nearly a century. And the resale value proves it. Walk into a jewelry store and buy a diamond ring today. Try selling it back tomorrow. You'll get a fraction of what you paid, sometimes less than 20%. Not because the diamond changed, because the price was never based on the stone, it was based on the story. Now something is finally breaking that story. Lab-grown diamonds are chemically identical to mined ones. Same hardness, same brilliance, same carbon structure, atom for atom. Even trained jewelers need specialized equipment to tell them apart. And lab-grown diamonds cost a fraction of the price, in some cases 10 times less. Since 2016, lab-grown diamond prices have dropped by more than 90%. The myth is finally colliding with the math.
So ask yourself something real. If a diamond ring loses 80% of its value the moment you walk out of the store, was it ever really about the stone? Or was it about a slogan written in 1947 by a copywriter who was told to sell a myth? De Beers didn't discover a tradition, they invented one. And nearly a century later, most people still don't know they're paying for an advertisement.